could have fallen apart together. You know that, right? We could have fallen apart together. That right?
You know, a great way to edit a film is to do more than just replay one part of it.
I didn't know anyone else was in here.
I spent about 4 hours editing that noir project. Ended up napping under the table. You should really check it out. Great thinking space. Kind of a hole-in-the-wall aesthetic. I'm sure you've never heard of it.
Perfect. I wouldn't want my thinking tainted by mainstream consumerism.
Ah, yes, your thinking. Which takes me back to exactly what you were thinking with this clip.
Do you think writing poetry makes this artsy crap easier?
Define artsy crap.
This stuff. The ones that are supposed to be a critical indie romance, where everything people say is poetic and unrealistic, but beautiful.
Mo, you're asking me if writing poetry makes it easier to write poetically.
It's just unrealistic. People don't talk like that or act like that. I feel like we'd be coming up with this off the top of our heads and putting it on our crappy writing accounts, and no one would know the difference. Think about it. Could you come up with...
You can only fold a paper 7 times in half. How many times have you changed yourself to fit in someone else's space today? How many times have you let yourself feel small for someone else? I want to be the place where you unfold.
Like a story. Unfolding.
Like our story.
So you see what I mean. What did it take for you to come up with that? I mean, you sat down with the paper, wrote some crappy poetry, we acted it out. If that scene was in a show and it got popular, someone on Twitter would be saying, I felt that, and it would mean nothing.
Okay, so it's a little easier to make that stuff, but it still means something.
It doesn't mean anything real. People don't talk like that.
Do we have to? Okay, so it's not totally realistic. But poetry...
It's beautiful. It means so much. And if someone said that line in a poem, I'd applaud them. But poetry is supposed to be poetry. Something's just screwed when you put it in a dialogue outside of that. I don't know.
No, I hear you, actually. I agree.
Jake Saints agrees with me. The first seal of the apocalypse has been broken.
No, I'm serious. Like that open mic we did with Rex Melville. Do you remember what he said at the end?
Poetry is in everything, but not everything is poetry.
And where we draw the line defines us. No, Mo, why'd you do that?
I'm just drawing the line. Action.
Or like that was action.
What do you... Action.
But you didn't count. You didn't count down.
Count down?
You didn't say like 3, 2.
3, 2, 1? You want me to say 3, 2, 1? Action.
Like 3, 2.
Oh, with the fingers.
Just start.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
3, 2, 1. Action.
I don't know what we could have been. You know, I don't know if things would have gotten better. But, you know, at least we would have been together. I thought about that the other day. I was in the grocery store. And I saw Captain Crunch, and I always liked that. And I thought, how great would it be if I could tell you right now, you know, you go get the eggs, I'll go get the milk, and we'll meet up. We would have been together. We would have been together. That would have been enough.
Guys, that was great. Thanks so much.
Was I good? Was it good?
Yeah,
I was good.
It was.
Was I good?
It was. It was fine.
I was good?
It was great.
I was good.
It was great.
Was I better than that?
You were great. You guys were both so great. So, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you guys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really? Your next film, right?
Maybe. I'll definitely let you know. I've got your number. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
Jack.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Hey Mo, so Brad and I were talking, and we love that you wanted to change that, but it's a group project, and the original just works better.
Chad, I wrote the script and I'm editing it. You let us use your camera. It's not really a group project. The line is more...
It's less romantic. The project doesn't need more words. It needs more romance. Think of it this way. You almost made a great mistake by editing your great writing out. But take a little democracy. You were outvoted, so I'm going to hold on to the card with reshoots since we're not going to use them. LMK, but after your editing, of course.
Who even says LMK out loud? It takes just as long. Let's make a movie.
About?
A couple.
Wow, that's just inspired.
No script, just a series of scenes set up as cliche as possible. We're the actors and we make up the poetic stuff along the way. People watch it, think it's a cute love story. Then we reveal it was all just a bunch of sweet nothings. We show everyone how easy it is to get caught up in what's pretty instead of what's real.
We need a premise.
Only a simple one. We give 2 minutes to give some reason. Maybe they met on an app where matches hang out for 6 hours to get to know each other.
That sounds dangerous and unrealistic. Okay, I get you. Fitting the theme. But how will we get enough people to watch it for the reveal to matter at all?
I don't know.
How will we get people to do it with us?
I don't know.
If we do get people to do it with us, what do we tell them?
I feel like you can guess my answer.
Alright. Well, I'm down. Sounds like it'll crash and burn, but telling Monique Durham that she can't do something is a guarantee she will, so guess we can check that box.
We'll make it work.
Sure.
This is a really good thinking space. All you wrote for this scene is sitting outside with memes.
Yeah. Like this. How many movies have you seen where two people sit like this, growing closer? One of them bears their soul, usually the guy.
Because if the guy does it, he's hot and in touch with his emotions. And if the girl does it, she's annoying and oversensitive.
That's a good point. Do we define the stereotype or keep it?
No, just another sweet nothing. Let's do it.
Do you think people can change?
When I was little, I used to go outside. Actually, wait, let me try something else.
Do you think people can change?
What animal makes you think of change?
Butterflies?
Yeah, that's what everyone says. But really, butterflies can only change on the outside, physically, over time.
So people can't change.
Well, they change as physical, but suddenly they can fly. The possibilities alone can change perspective. I think that just by waking up and time passing, we all change, but it's not like metamorphic the way we imagine. It's just that one day your shoulders don't ache for wings anymore. You can fly, fight, forgive, feel.
Do you?
Feel?
Do you still ache for wings?
I'm so pumped. That was amazing.
Dude, that butterfly thing was perfect. The fight, flight, forgive alliteration.
No, what made it was the do you still ache part.
I have another idea for a scene. You'll be playing with kids and I'll look on lovingly.
Oh, and you get caught dancing like no one's watching.
But you're watching. Got it. Cooking together or unrealistic?
Unrealistic's the name of the game. We can throw in some dialogue, get it to happen.
Oh, and that folding paper thing. I can say something tearfully about feeling small, and the whole time you'll be folding paper. Perfect place to end.
I have a surprise.
Well, I don't know if that fits the premise. They're maybe 6 hours, so what?
Read it.
Are you serious? Rex Melville's gonna share our movie?
Yeah, him and some of his other fancy friends, including
Anna Huntsman, my favorite director ever, is going to share something we're making.
He loved the idea of it. He writes real poetry and she writes real movies. They both would hate the idea of them getting fake where they meet.
This is actually gonna work.
I told you it would.
You paint?
Ever since I was 10.
That's everything. And also proof that we'll never know everything.
How so?
When you look at art, something different happens. You ever see abstract art and suddenly you felt something or saw something? It might not even be the meaning, but it's there.
How does that prove that we won't know everything?
I don't know of a single scientist who could tell me why, when I looked at your painting, the flowers made me sad.
I don't think I intended to make a sad flower.
Of course not. You'll never know everything. Even about me.
As long as I can know, we'll have more time to try.
Trying is all I'll ever expect. Cut. Oh, that was gross as hell. I've never felt more uncomfortable in my life.
I feel like a 12-year-old whose crush has told me how she's planning to ask out Jake Kraminski, and now I'm in my room listening to Blink-182 with hot tears rolling down my cheeks. Everything I'm saying is so extra and dramatic for no reason.
Oddly specific story, but we'll pretend it's not real. Seriously, I'm so sick of being fake to you.
It's alright. One more scene and we can unfold together and send the edited footage to ex-Melville.
The only thing better than Melville being in on this is that I'll never have to hear you say unfold like that ever again.
Can I read you something? A poem? Something real deep.
Sure.
A poet's heart beats fire and pumps ice. A compilation of contradictions and catalyst, somehow breeding art. Perhaps not at the vibration of vocal vendettas, but in the ears, heart, and eyes of the beholder. And yet to see one person become poetry to the poet, to become the melody his heart has been playing rhythm to get a poet with no rhythm to discover pentameter. It's to dramatically fall into the arms of the beholder and to release this message I've been holding, trapped beneath my ribcage.
That's beautiful.
I was just thinking the other day that since you've been doing this, you may have gotten the wrong idea about poetry in general. And I was in the store, and I thought maybe I should write her something.
I really liked it.
Cliches aren't always terrible, you know. Sometimes it's good to know what to expect.
Sick. The empanadas are here, so... I don't think I've ever been more proud of something I've written.
You hated every word you had to say. I'm positive my "what animals make you think of" change line nearly killed you.
Yeah, but we're making a statement, and people are listening and waiting to hear it. And Anna Huntsman told everyone on Twitter we're a pair to watch in the future of film. So.
Are you ready to live up to our expectations by telling a million or so people that we just played them?
Just a typical Tuesday.
It's a Wednesday.
And it's a saying. I really did love working with you on this. You made it all... You were you, and that's exactly what I needed. So what you watched was completely unscripted. We wanted to shed light on what can happen when fake poetry creates fake film.
Poetry and film are beautiful mediums with different approaches to honesty.
Brought together correctly, and one only makes the other stronger, like music and theater creating musicals. But brought together for the sake of some flowery language.
It can turn sweet nothings into bitter somethings. When I joined Mo in her project, it was because in the middle of her rant about this very topic, I came up with a paper folding thing on the spot.
If Jake were to use that concept in a poem, he'd have to work to make it a strong motif.
And if I wanted to put it in a better script, I'd have to find a way to make it natural.
But without either adjustment, our poll showed us that you liked that scene the most.
So don't skip your favorite cheesy movie or burn your favorite book of poetry. And above all, don't be afraid to let something affect you, even the words we made up.
But don't start to confuse fake words for real life. We won't always have the words, and if we do, they probably won't be pretty. But speak. And never let a movie convince you it has to be anything other than authentic.
I will say this, though. Part of why it feels so fake is because we make poets out of random characters. They're never given a reason to express themselves that way. But for me, or Well, if they are a poet, those words can seem more real for the audience and for them. We could reshoot this, you know.
No, I like what you added. Couldn't agree more.
I'm just so excited to release this, though. I've never just spoken to a camera like that. To let the audience know what I really want them to know.
You want to watch the reactions later in thinking space?
Of course.